I know that this is obviously the same exact setting and the same exact clothes from the last video, but this is a different video, obviously, because now I'm on a couch full of fluffy pillows. And I actually have somebody holding my phone instead of me doing the weird trying to hold it myself thing. Anyway, this is a video that I have actually wanted to make for a very long time. My tripod is currently being very temperamental, and I forgot my computer. So I'm going to be vlogging from my phone. But what I wanted to talk about is something that can kind of serve as a PSA for couples getting married, couples who are already married, or like maybe you plan on getting married sometime in the future, and this could serve as a PSA for you. So let's get started. Before I married my husband, I had a great relationship with his family, with the exception of his dad. And it's not because his dad and I don't get along, or he and I don't like each other. It's just the fact me and his dad do not have a lot of common ground, so we don't have a lot of conversations. But I still like his dad. His dad is freaking awesome. I love his dad so much. And he is a really great person. But before we got married, I had this really good relationship with his family. His mom and I got along, and his aunt and I got along, and his sister and I got along. And the only relationship that stayed really good after we got married was my relationship with his sister. His sister and I still get along. I still really love his sister. I really, 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 really love his sister. But something changed once we got married, and I couldn't put my finger on it as to what had changed. His mom stopped acting like she liked me. His aunt hasn't really ever actually acted like she liked me, so I take that back. But obviously I'm not going to be using names to my in-laws or who they are, because that's really messed up. And in reality, I'm not going to be saying anything disrespectful about my in-laws, but I would always think that maybe it was the way that I dressed, because I used to dress in some really dark clothes, and when they weren't dark, they were kind of skanky. So I would think maybe it was the way I dressed, or maybe it was the way I did my hair, or maybe it was the way that I did my makeup, or something that I was doing. And I found myself attempting to conform to what these people wanted of me. And I realized that I get on here and I tell people, do not conform, be who you are. Eventually the people who love you will support you and be around you and surround you. And I wasn't doing that. And in fact, it almost caused a huge fight between his family and my family, which was something I never wanted. And it came down to my husband feeling like he was in the middle of these fights between me and his family, and my mom and his mom, and my aunt and his aunt, and my grandma and his grandma, and all this kind of stuff. And that's not what I wanted. So eventually I decided I was done trying to conform, and they would come around to liking me when they finally decided to. And I went back to being who I am and how I am. And frankly, I stopped caring if his family liked me or not, because it's not my place to make them like me. But the one thing I have always promised my husband, and will continue to promise my husband for the rest of our lives, is that I will never make him pick between me and his family, or me and his best friend, or me or anyone. Because unfortunately, and this is something that I see everywhere all the time, people making their significant others make this choice. And unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that when you force your significant other to choose between you or their family, or you and their best friend, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose. Even if it's further on down the road, you're going to lose. I kept thinking about, what if I would run these scenarios in my head, and I would say, what if I forced him to pick between me or his family? And the scenario never worked out, because it would either be right then and there he told me to go kick rocks, or right then and there, he decided to pick me over his family. And then years down the road, when I think that we're really happy and we have this really happy, great marriage, he's miserable because he didn't get to have a relationship with his mom and the rest of his family. And I could not in good conscience do that. And in all reality, his family has been there for him for 23 years, where I've only been here for 9 years. I haven't been there for him through everything. And as hard as that is to admit, it's really hard to ask him to choose between this group of people who have loved him at his best and at his worst, and to choose someone who's only been here for 9 years. And while, yes, I have loved him at his absolute best and his absolute worst, and I will continue to love him through his absolute best and his absolute worst, I wasn't there for big major events. Like when the two most important people of his life died, I wasn't there for that. His best friend and his family carried him through that. I wasn't there through a lot of things. Therefore, asking him to choose between me or the woman who gave birth to him, the man who helped create him, and the little life that came after him doesn't make a lot of sense. Yes, getting along with your in-laws is sometimes going to be a massive pain. And yes, sometimes you're going to have to deal with repercussions of things that you say and things that you do. Lord knows I have gotten in enough fights with my in-laws to learn that one the hard way. But at the end of the day, your family is what's important. And that is a lesson that my husband and I have both had to learn the hard way. Because for a long time, I would never force my husband to choose me over anyone. And everyone kept telling me, when you get married, your wife becomes your new number one. And at that point, you go on to make your life about you and her. And I would tell my husband to not believe that, to continue to be a part of that family, because those are the people who needed him. And we didn't realize that we had to make ourselves a priority too. We had to make our relationship and what we wanted out of life just as important as his family had made what they wanted out of life important to them. So, for newly engaged couples, for couples who just got married, or for all of you singles out there who intend to one day get married, my advice for you: be appreciative of your partner and never take them for granted. Try your hardest to get along with your in-laws, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And strive for a fantastic future together, because in reality, at the end of the day, all you have in this world is the two of you. And I cannot imagine a better partner to attempt to start a family with and be happy with for the rest of my life, because I got truly blessed in this lifetime to have the best partner I could have ever dreamt of. And he is honestly everything I've ever wanted in life. And when you find that, you are an idiot if you throw it away. And I've thrown it away 3 times now, so I'm going to try really hard not to go for a 4th. But getting along with your in-laws is not always easy. Getting along with these people who raised your partner are not always easy. And there are some things that you want to blame them for so bad and be pissed off at them for. But in reality, it's not their fault. It's not my fault my husband's lazy. It's not my mom's fault that I'm lazy. And it's not really my husband's fault that he was never forced to do housework. So we're literally going through this adventure called life together and learning how to do a lot of this stuff that we didn't know how to do before together. So find yourself a partner that you'll be able to appreciate. If his mom is overbearing or her mom is overbearing, just let them be overbearing. Honestly, the biggest piece of advice I have for you: pick your damn battles. Because not everything needs to be a battle. Literally, just fucking sweep some of it under the rug. You'll be fine. But in all reality, you chose your partner, and unfortunately, when you marry the partner, you also marry their family. And I got really lucky because I found an amazing partner to go through my life with and a huge family that is finally coming around, working little by little to accept me and make me feel like I'm a part of the family. So I have definitely got lucky. I hope the same thing happens for you. And because I know there will be that one asshole in the comments, do not comment that you're lucky your in law family is dead because that just makes you look like a douchebag. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and turn on my post notifications. And leave a comment down below asking what, or talking about what you would like me to cover next. I love you all so much. Thank you for your support. You are amazing. Goodbye.